All right, Progressive Hoodie here. Welcome, and I'm going to talk about last night's debate. Who were the winners and the losers of last night's debate? I can't do a ranking system like I normally do. Normally, I would take a debate like this and go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just give you a listing of in that way of who I think how I think they performed from worst to best. But last night, just I can't do that for this debate that we saw last night because that was an absolute clown car of a debate. I mean, just ridiculous. And so I'll probably just do some vague winners and losers at the end. But first of all, I want to talk about why this debate was such a debacle, why it was such a mess. I mean, South Carolina is to debates as Iowa is to caucuses. Okay, that's how crazy this was. If you didn't watch it, you're the real winner. Who won this debate? You, if you didn't tune in. Let's talk about it. The candidates talked over each other the whole time. Whole time. Like literally the whole time. Whole time. They just talked whenever they wanted to talk. So Tom Steyer, can I ask you this question? Now, what would you do about climate change in this country? Oh, wait, they didn't ask about climate change. I'm sorry. I asked, no, let me back up. That's another issue. But anyway, Tom Steyer, what would you do about gun control? Well, actually, I'm smug elitist Pete, and I'll be answering this question today. Nobody was talking to you. This was absolutely ridiculous. The whole people just chiming in and talk. Excuse me, won't nobody talking to you? Can you shut up? And Pete was particularly egregious with this, interrupting. After everything Bernie said, he's like, oh, now my turn, my turn. When Bernie talks, I get to talk. No, that's not how it works, Pete. And then he's interrupting. There's one time where Bernie had the floor and he was talking and he was asking a series of, Pete even admits rhetorical questions. Pete even called it a rhetorical question. And Pete's like, can I answer? Can I answer the rhetorical question? Can I answer? No, you can shut up because he is asking a rhetorical set of questions. Oh my goodness, when will this rat go away? When will we finally be rid of his cheesy, ridiculous presence? I'm so sick of Platitude Pete sitting up there acting like he's better than everyone else. And I'm going to talk every time Bernie Sanders is talking. Literally, there was one part where Bernie Sanders was talking for like 30 seconds straight. This fool is sitting there talking over him the whole time. But that's okay because I'm going to get to losers, and he's one of them. All right. Audience was just absolutely out of control. Just out of control. Bought and paid for and out of control. Bloomberg, yeah, we love you. People throwing panties on the stage. Okay, not really, but close. Okay, close. I mean, just ridiculous. Booing over the candidates, and which brings me to my next point. The moderators were terrible, just terrible. Gail and whoever the heck the other person was, just awful. No control over what was going on. Terrible leadership being displayed by those moderators. Well, you got to stand up and take control of that debate if you're a moderator. I mean, cut mics. People, the judges' mic should have been cut several times. I would have been. It did bring me joy, though, because there was one time where he was trying to speak, and they were like, yeah, no. Tom Steyer, I was like, yes. But other than that, I mean, they were just talking over each other, and they were just allowing them to just have free reign. It was an absolute dumpster fire. Okay, we didn't really have a serious discussion about climate change here, and that's ridiculous. I already mentioned this in my other video. Eyes itching. Sorry, y'all. I already mentioned this in my other video, but it bears repeating. $1,750 to $3,200 to attend this absolute trash debate. Pricing average black people who they're supposed to be talking to out of the conversation. Oh man, the DNC is pathetic, man. Bloomberg got an insane amount of questions. Like every other question, it was like Sanders Bloomberg, or Elizabeth Warren Bloomberg, Rat Boy Bloomberg. I mean, every other question, I was like, I cannot. Why are you asking him so many questions? This is the candidacy that nobody asked for. Why are people vandalizing Bloomberg's buildings? Why? I'll tell you why. Because this arrogant, rich oligarch, son of a dog, thinks he can come in with his billions of dollars when people can barely afford food, when they can barely afford to send their kids to college, when they can barely afford to get teeth extracted from their daggone mouth. And this fool thinks he can come into what's supposed to be a party of the people and buy it out and then buy the presidency of the United States on his vanity run for self-aggrandizement. That's why people are vandalizing your buildings, Bloomberg. It doesn't have anything to do with Bernie Sanders. You're just a hateable character in American politics right now. If you knew anything about how to read a room, not your bought and paid for room that the Democratic National Committee loyalist hacks help you to stack with people who love billionaires and are billionaires, but actual real room of people, that is the American people, if you knew how to read that room, you'd get the heck out of the debate. In fact, you would have never jumped in the debate. Moving on. Bloomberg ads and anti-Medicare for all ads populated the commercial break segments. I'm going to say that again. Bloomberg ads. Like, he's one of the candidates. I mean, how for sale is our democracy? You want to tell me we don't live in an oligarchy? You want to tell me that this is not a plutocracy in this country? How for sale, how bought and paid for is our politics in this country? How for sale is the presidency when you can put ads on in the middle of a debate? The debate's supposed to be a time where we're all in the ring, duking it out with each other, boxing it out. We're all supposed to be in the ring in this sort of even playing field, this even ground. And even in that situation, you got it skewed towards Bloomberg because the audience is paid to cheer him on, and you got freaking ads airing that promote his candidacy above others. I mean, it doesn't get any more ridiculous and more bought off than that. And then finally, as if to put an exclamation point on their like absolute ineptitude and their absolute like inability to run a debate, they go to a commercial break and then they come back and be like, oh, well, that's the end of the debate. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Ridiculous. So let me tell you something. I don't think that debate moved the needle in any real meaningful way. Who won? The people that didn't watch it. Who won? People that live in other countries that actually have democracy. That's who won. Who won? I don't know. I guess Bernie Sanders. There was a poll that came out that showed that, I think it was a CBS poll that showed pretty much the plurality of people thought Bernie Sanders did the best. So, okay. I mean, I didn't think Bernie Sanders was terrible, but I mean, the whole debate was such a cluster of yelling and talking over each other and pouting about somebody else talking too long. I mean, grow up, candidates. So-and-so is talking and they keep interrupting. Well, why does he keep interrupting? And she keeps on. Will you have a debate? What a bunch of babies that want to run the country. Just ridiculous. So I guess he won. I mean, whatever. Losers is pretty much everybody. Me, because I actually put myself through that. You, if you watched it. You, if you even just listened to this description of it, you lost. Sorry. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that in the long run, Bloomberg lost this debate as well, because while he may have won the night with the people that were in the room, everybody knows what kind of people they were. We know it wasn't average black people in South Carolina. We're not stupid. So we know that that's not the case. So Bloomberg, I think, ultimately lost as well. I think Biden looked extremely angry. Like, every answer he was pointing and jibbing like this. And it's so funny because everybody calls Sanders angry. But I saw a great tweet by one of my wonderful Twitter friends was basically saying, with Bernie Sanders, with Biden it's rage. With Bernie Sanders, it's outrage. There's a difference. There is a huge difference, and that's something that the mainstream media doesn't want to acknowledge because they want to gaslight you into thinking this guy is just angry for no reason, as opposed to actually looking at the substantive reasons, which this wine cave debate that we saw last night was a prime example of the reasons why things are stacked against the average working class people that he is trying to appeal to. I mean, the other big loser of this debate last night to me was Pete Buttigieg. I mean, he looked absolutely horrible. He looked absolutely horrible. I mean, talking over people, interrupting, talking throughout an entire time where the other guy already has the floor and he's asking rhetorical questions. Can I answer? Can I answer? Can I answer? I need to answer. I need to answer. Like, you are literally making yourself look so rude. So rude. Wow, Pete Buttigieg. Wow. So I think ultimately that is not a good look for him. Did you see him do anything last night? If you watched it, I mean, make comment in the comment section below about who you think the winners and losers were. Because honestly, I don't know. Please give me your take, because to me that was such a disaster. It's kind of one of those things like when the processes and the systems that you have set in place are not working. When there's a breakdown in the management of everything, you can't notice the parts that you're supposed to be noticing because all you can see is what a disaster it is that the whole system isn't working correctly. The cogs and the wheels aren't turning as they should. When those things are turning and things are smooth and it's a well-oiled machine, you don't even notice the machine. It's just you notice all of the arguments that the candidates are making and what they're saying. You're listening intently and getting drawn into the discussions and who's gonna come after who. But tonight, that got lost to me through the absolute chaos that was on that stage. I mean, the last debate was the good kind of, like, on edge kind of, because everybody was really going after each other, and especially after Bloomberg, and there was this feeling of just like, oh, we're in this to win this. But last night was just like a mess. Like, the candidates came across as super desperate, super dang thirsty for some black votes. I mean, it was just like super pandery, super shouty, super yelling over everybody, no control. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope to see you all in the next one. Hopefully we'll have a media madness segment up at some point today, because there is a lot of madness going on in the media and we need to talk about it. All right, have yourself a merry little Wednesday.